My next destination, and how we're doing that in this part of the Netherlands is of course by train. So, but I didn't have reception on the full platform. So just to give you an idea, I just arrived over here with the train from Amsterdam all the way to the city of Delft, underground station. So in the heart of the city center, we will see that soon. So welcome everyone. We will officially start in 7 minutes from now, but I wanted to show you already a little like how our public transportation is looking over here. All modern design, quite nice, as you can see, even the top part. And I will get you up to the hall above. All above what we see over here. It is start of rush hour, so it can be a little busy. So just let's go one level higher. I see immediately that the reception is a lot better over here. Number one and number two, you can go all the way to Rotterdam. You can also go to The Hague, do different locations. So and we are when you're coming inside the city of Delft, then you can or take more stairs up here this way and look, by the way, how beautiful the ceiling is here already. I will tell you a little more about that soon. But there's also in every Dutch city, and even more in Dutch cities like the city of Delft, you always have a place for your bicycle. So just to give you an idea, over there you can see them, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and lanes of bicycles and more bicycles and more bicycles and everything. So just to give you an idea of a typical Dutch city. So let me go in there, because I think I still have reception here. I'm happy most of the time in these kind of places. There's no reception, but just to give you a full Dutch experience, I have to check out with my chip card. Here, oh, it's not allowed. This one, check out. Okay, and then just to give you an idea. Just to give an idea of how a train station in the Netherlands is looking. So we have some bicycles, and we have some more bicycles, and we have some more bicycles, and it's just going on and on and on and on. Two levels next to each other. Even there are a lot of bicycles just parked outside, as you can see, and continuously people are coming in, going out. Just let me walk a little. There are lanes, so you can see, so you know what lane you were parking your bicycle. But it's a lot. Now everyone over here has its own bicycle. That's the system. There's also a rental place, but the majority of people, they just have their own bicycles. So, and parking them over here because they are working somewhere else and traveling from here, or the other way. Another option is that they are working in Delft or studying in Delft and coming here every day, back and forth. So, and then over here, as you can see, the bike lane is going through the station. So there's a tunnel over here where you can immediately, so you're picking up your bicycle, and then immediately here at the other side, we can go out, and we're immediately then next to one of the canals in the city center of Delft. So it's just giving a little idea of how big this place over here is. Several thousands of bicycles, and this is not even a very big one. I've seen a lot bigger ones, but it just gives an idea over here. And exactly, Carol, it is a parking garage for bicycles, and the system is the system is, or that's how we are doing this, is that the ones on the upper part is for men. And what you have to do, and I can also show you that, we see here, let's say this is my bicycle. I'm gonna park it here. Oh, there are also people still want to come in. Let's say this is my bicycle. Then what I have to do is just this one. Oh, no, ik ga het niet uit. Ik ga het niet uit. Ik ga het laten zien, sorry. Immediately someone was thinking, oh, you're taking out your bicycle. I want to have this place. But you're getting this out. And then you can drop it. I have to do it to the end. And then you can drop it. And then you can get your bicycle out. It's a little hard for me to do it with one hand. But that is the system over here. And you can even see over here. And you maybe know this from parking garage for cars. But in row number 13, there are 2 spaces. So it's quite full over here. And in row 14, there are also only 2 spaces, and in 15, a little further, is completely filled. So this part of the station, it's better go to the other side, because row 7 over here has 14 spots. I have to be careful because this is also a highway for bicycles. So people are coming here really with a high speed. So let me go back because the tour starts officially in 2 minutes from now. This was just a pre-tour, just to show you something typical Dutch that you can see in a lot of places, like Delft, but also in other places. Okay, and we're going back over here just to get some more bicycles. I'm almost gonna sing that song of Queen about bicycles. So, because you have a lot of them over here. Oh, and there's also one of the interesting things is I'm seeing the bicycle over here has a sign. It has a sign, and this sign is saying, u overschrijdt de maximale stallingsduur. So that means this bicycle is here for too long. Originally, or officially, you can only park your bicycles over here for a maximum of a month. I think it's over here a month. Some places even only 2 weeks or a week. But over here it is a month. And this one is already here since the end of August. So that means that this one can be removed. It's interesting. That's the system how we keep the garages for bicycles a little empty. But let's here, also over here. Look, it's literally everywhere. Bicycles, bicycles, more bicycles, more bicycles. Exactly, I wanna ride my bicycle. No, you don't want me to. Start singing. So let's go. Oh, let's go out. You see, everyone is just coming inside. And yeah, there are of course people are stealing bicycles. That happens. But not extremely a lot anymore. So I'm just going inside the station. So I'm gonna check in again with the chip card. Let's go over here. Okay, we can go in. Welcome on the station. I said already, rush hour is starting. I'm gonna stand here a little on the side and do the official introduction because it is now the start of this tour today. And I wanna welcome you in the city of Delft. That's where I am right now. A beautiful city in the southern part of Holland, or in the western part of the Netherlands. That's also how you can say it. My name is Stefan. Thank you, Michelle. My name is Stefan, and I'm a guide in the Netherlands and in Belgium. And normally I'm guiding the most of the times in the city of Amsterdam. But today I was thinking, let's bring you, and I had a lot of questions from people before to show the city of Delft. So it took a little while, it took a little longer than expected, but then now finally I arrived over here, and I want to show you around. So in the coming 45 minutes, I will show you the city of Delft, some modern things, some older things, tell something about the history and all that kind of things. And I'm starting and some people are seeing it already in the pre-tour in the central station of the city of Delft. And the interesting thing is that the central station is underground. They built it quite recently, by the way, underground. And at the back of me, and I just made a little tour around, there's a parking garage for several thousands of bicycles, because most of the people are coming here on their bike and then taking the train to other cities, or they're also coming over here to study, because Delft is one of the famous cities in the Netherlands with a university. There's a one of the two technical universities that we have in the Netherlands is in Delft. So it's a very technical city. So I'm gonna change the screen, and and Deborah, that's a good question. Deborah's asking, how do they find their bikes? Yeah, I showed you that there are numbers of the lines, so you can. I'm in line number 13. And then if you're doing this every day, then after a while you know, like, oh, I prefer to park it at the end of the line or at the start, and then somewhere up, and you recognize your bike. It's like recognizing your kids, something like that. So, okay, I'm just gonna change the screen, and then we're seeing here the ceiling of Delft Central Station. And as you can maybe see, it is a beautiful ceiling, and over there at the end we even have the letters of Delft, and we have the city plan. This is the old city plan of Delft, and we have to go back to the 19th century, to 1876 to be precise, and they placed on the ceiling the map of 1876 here on the top. But let's go up. This station where we are is very new. It's opened only in 2015, and it is designed by Meccano. And Meccano is, by the way, a quite famous architectural company from Delft. So it is done by local local architect company. And now I have to check out again. I thought, I checked in, checked out every time. So I have to go through this again. And then I'm gonna show you already some interesting things. Okay, let's check out. Yes, I'm allowed to go out. That's always the trick. And then while we're standing here, this is really a modern station. And you can also see that on the architecture. And what they did is already here. If you're coming more nearby, look at this. Look at the little tiles that they used. And it's not Meccano, but yeah, it is Meccano. So they were inspired, the architects were inspired by Meccano, what they were doing when they were young. And that's how they named their company later on. And exactly here in Delft, this is blue and white, the colors of Delft, because Delft is also quite famous for its Delft's blue. And what I'm gonna do, you can also see it is end of the day. It's not so far from sunset anymore. And everywhere in this station, they have the tiles. They used it everywhere. And I want to take you now here on the side. And Luan, I will tell you a little more about Delft's blue later. Don't worry about that. We're gonna see some more. But the tour, we just started. And of course, this is a very modern interpretation. That's what you can see here on the side. This is almost, I would say, a little Gaudi-esque, how they are using it, or a little what you see in the southern part of Spain with these little tiles. And I'm going outside over here. Let's get in the sliding doors. And then over here. And one of the things that I want to show you also, we saw all these thousands of bicycles. And the city of Delft is really a city where there are a lot of bicycles. There are not a lot of cars. Then over here on the side, and there are a lot of young people. There are a lot of young people for sure. That's a good. That's a good one. And a lot of young people because of the university. And the university, there are about 20,000 students living in Delft on a population of 100,000. So That's one of the main reasons why it is such a young city. And it's called the Technical University of Delft. The bus is just now in front of it. Let's go around because I wanted to show you this building. And this building, by the way, is not a church. No, it's not a church. Not at all. This over here is the train station. This is the train station, but this is not the new train station. This is the old train station. It was built over here, so with the entrance, and you can also see that even in the front part, they have some beautiful Delft blue again. On the side, you see the little tiles. The tiles, Delft blue tiles, are literally everywhere. No, this is the old train station. For a very long time, the train was above ground. So when they were building this, they cut the city of Delft into two by building the railway. And the railway was exactly where we are now seeing all these big buildings. All these big buildings are built on what used to be the rail track. Not rain, please stay dry. The rail track. So what they started doing, and this project started around 2000, and in 15 years they were making a complete tunnel under here. We're now standing on top of the tunnel to make sure that the train tracks in Delft are not cutting the whole city anymore. So, and they built a new station. Over here we have the new station on the side. Completely different style, of course, from the old station. Opened in 2015. And since that time, now you can see it is used a lot. And the interesting thing is that because the train tracks are now under here, so we're now walking partly over it. But by removing the train tracks, it also made it possible to use parts of the city that they could not use before. It was just, here we can see the local time, by the way. So 4:39 or 16:39, depending a little where you're living. So, no, but it also made it possible to bring several of the old canals back. And Delft used to be, and it is still, really a city of canals, like a lot of other Dutch cities, full of beautiful canals. And over here, by the way, we can see a little already the old city center, and a beautiful reflection, by the way, over here. And I'm now also walking next to the highway, and the highway of bicycles. So here on the right side, you can see that a lot of people are here. Okay, sometimes also on scooters or mopeds, but the majority is still using their bicycle. So, and not only young people. For Dutch people, it is really in our blood to cycle, from young to old, with kids, to go to school, to go to work. Everything is done by a bicycle. So I have to be a little careful. So I'm going to the other side. While here at the left side, they're building another interesting building. Again, this area could only be built with buildings since 2015. Before that time, it was the train tracks. So what they did is they're now using it for all kind of new buildings. This building is a little sort of Tetris-like. It's not finished yet, but also it also made it possible to bring what we see over here, to bring the canal back. So for a very long time, this was one of the oldest canals of Delft, but they removed it to build the train tracks in the 19th century. But now we have it back. We have the canals, one of these oldest canals, back, and also on top of the train tracks, on the back part where we just were, they are making now a beautiful park. And at this part, now there's roads, there is a track now for the trams, there is a canal, so you can even sail if you want. Look, at this little tiny cute sailing boat that is over here on the side. So okay, back to Delft. Let me tell you a little more about the history of this city. It is one of the older cities in the Netherlands. The first settlements here were already around the year 1000, and about 750 years ago now, the city of Delft got city rights. So that means that this city over here got city rights earlier than the city of Amsterdam. So what a lot of people don't know is that Amsterdam is a little newer and became more powerful on a later moment. And at that moment, Delft was already very powerful. For a long time, it was the most powerful city of this part of Holland, where we're walking right now. And not only that, we're also calling this, and I'm just going to the other side. I have to be careful always for people on bicycles, as you can see. Now, the city of Delft is famous for several things. One of it is, of course, the Delft blue, and we will see some more of that. That's a famous thing. But there's more. There's a lot more. So, for example, one of the other things, and look at this, Delft blue with the church at the back, the new church, the tower, exactly. And the second thing, where Delft is famous for, is for the painter Vermeer. Vermeer, the famous painter, he was born and lived most of his life in the city of Delft. So most of his paintings were also made over here in this city. That's the second thing. And the third thing is that it's also a royal city. A royal city because since the 16th century, the 16th century, start of 17th century, this was the place where our royals, 16th century, that was the place where our royals were living and also are buried. So, and we will learn and see a little more about this later. And then look at this also. Everyone is always thinking that only Amsterdam has canals. No. A lot of other cities have them too. And Dorley, where are his paintings? His paintings, Vermeer, he painted only 37 works. So not a lot. Maybe more, but we only found 37 of them. And some of them are still in the Netherlands. Some of them are coming this year for a big exhibition, by the way, in Amsterdam, in the Rijksmuseum. But there are only 3 at the moment in Delft itself. Some are in The Hague, some in Amsterdam, and some of them are in other parts of the world. I have to be a little careful because there's almost only. Oh, this is also interesting. I didn't expect this, but look at this. We see over here a beautiful cafe, and there is a carriage. There's a carriage that was used in the old days to bring the beer. And I'm just going a little to the side. Look at this. Brand beer with these traditional horses here on the side. It's quite, and they even their clothes are the traditional clothes. Okay, I have to go to be a little careful over here. Delft horses, exactly, Delft horses. Yeah, and it's standing now over here on the bike path. And this is like how Brandbier, one of the brands, by the way, from the southern part of the Netherlands, how they were transporting it originally. So just a little back into history. And then there is also street art everywhere. I love that. And talking about famous paintings of Vermeer, maybe some of you know, this is of course a variation, but maybe some of you recognize this lady. This lady over here, it is a variation, but exactly that. This is from the famous painting of Vermeer, the girl with the pearl earring. Exactly. So, but we're not going to stop here. I'm going to take you somewhere else. This is a walking tour today. I love to walk, and there's also something else that I have to tell. I'm just gonna show you my face again, because I can talk about history, but I also have a personal connection with this city because I'm born here. In my passport, it is that Stefan is born in the city of Delft. So we have to go back in time, not that far as thousands of years, but I was born over here, and the first 5 years of my life I lived in Delft. So, but yeah, 5 years, that's of course not a lot. But a lot of my family is still living in this area. It is very near, the city is very nearby. The cities of The Hague and also nearby Rotterdam, and most of my family is coming from there. So that's so I have some memories, but not so many anymore. And I also did not study over here because a lot of people were studying over here, but that was not for me. So we have some. I'm just gonna change again. We were just passing the most ugly building, the old city hall of Delft, but I want to take you to a more beautiful place. So that's here at the right side. You can see it already. And look, by the way, how wide the bike lanes are over here. They are almost as wide that you can drive your car. This is not allowed, by the way, but this is only for people on the bike. So now over here, we're coming nearby now. So we have at the back part, we see the old church of Delft, and several of the older buildings over here used to be a part of one of the monasteries that was placed over here. Now part of the monastery is used as a parking spot and as a garden, but and Corinne is saying, I don't know why, but I thought Delft was a smaller village. It's a bustling city. Yeah, it is. It's a vibrant city, quite vibrant. There are living about 100,000 people in total. So it is not small at all. Okay, I'm just going to the next entrance over there. What they did over here, by the way, very modern building, but they still use the old coat of arms of the city of Delft. And yes, it is always windy. It's always windy over here. Welcome in the Netherlands. And that is also the reason that we have a windmill over there. At the end of this street, you can see there is a windmill. And that windmill over there is called Windmill de Roos. The Rose. And it was one of the 18 windmills that used to be in the city of Delft. It's the only one left. And it was built on one of the city walls on the side, a little higher and on the side of the city, because that's the area where you still have wind. And it is still working. Yes, it is still working. Only one time per week it is working, and on some special days. But yeah, they're still using it. But where I'm going to is into this place. Look how beautiful this gate is already. And it's a grinding. That's a good. And it's asking, is it a pumping or a grinding? No, this was a grinding windmill. So it was not pumping up any water. No, we're now going inside an area that is called nowadays a Prinsenhof. Thank you, Chloe. The Prinsenhof. And the Prinsenhof, the court of the princes, this used to be also part of the monastery that I was talking about before. And we have to go back to the 13th century when they, in the 13th century, they opened this place, thank you Anne, as a monastery, and for about 250 years it was used for that. But then in the 16th century, the Dutch, we got a very long war with Spain, with the Spaniards. And that was for us, thank you Charlotte and Beatrice for the tips. Now we got into a very long war with the Spaniards, and we had a guy named William the Silent, and he had some rights here in the Netherlands. And this William the Silent, well, we're looking at some Delft blue that's here just on a street lantern, by the way. And look, these are the ships that we were using originally. Now this man, William the Silent, he became the one who was fighting and who was the leader in the fight in the war against the Spaniards in the 80 years long war. And what he did is he placed his house and where he was working in the city of Delft, because this was at that moment the second biggest city in the Netherlands, the most powerful one. So he thought this is a good place to start. So he did that in the 16th century, and the Prinsenhof, the former monastery, became his house. And he lived here several times, and the Spaniards were even attacking the city of Delft to try to, and just let me try to get you this in a vertical shot. Oh, sorry for this. Whoa. Look how beautiful. Thank you, Anne, and thank you, Becca. Look how beautiful this is. With Delft's blue, it is a little modern lantern, but because of the Delft's blue, it's quite nice. No, so he lived over here. The Spaniards were attacking the city, but they could not capture it. So for a longer time, he lived over here, and that's also why even nowadays they just closed it over here. But we have the Prinsentuin, the Prinsen Garden, and in the middle part we can see William the Silent. And if you're saying to Dutch people William the Silent, most people are like, William the Silent, who's that? That is his international name. For Dutch people, we're knowing this guy as William of Orange. William of Orange, this was our first king. And nowadays we still have a royal family, and they're all family of this man that is standing there in the middle of the garden. So, but he stayed here. The Spaniards were attacking. They didn't win. But then in 1584, and you have to imagine that the war that we had between the Spaniards and the Dutch was a lot about religion. Now, William the Silent, he was Catholic. The Spaniards were also Catholic. But William, he was saying, yeah, it doesn't matter. In the Netherlands, we are not so we're not so traditional. Here you can live together. If you are Reformed, if you are a Catholic, it doesn't matter. But for the Spaniards, it was a reason to kill you. So this William the Silent, he started his war, his revolt at first against the Spaniards. And he was leading our troops. He had several times, and he was called Silent because, yeah, what do you think? Why do you think he was called Silent, Dorley? There's a good reason for that. A lot of these names were just based on how they were behaving. So this man was quite silent for that time. So, and Joe, I will come back to that later too. There's a lot to tell only about this city, but I also want to show you how cute and how beautiful it is at the same time. And exactly, not a man from a lot of words. No, but what happened then in 1984? Of course, he also had enemies. And in 1984, there was a man named Balthasar Gerards, and he came here in this area. And I have a painting of that. There are a lot of paintings made about this, by the way. And what he did, he killed our William of Orange, our William the Silent, over here, exactly where we're standing. I have to go inside. The museum is now closed, but inside over here there are some stairs going up, and nearby these stairs, it is just behind this corner. That was the 1584. Didn't I say that? I don't know. Maybe sometimes the years are going all around with me. And Anne, you're talking about William Mary, his son. That was the generations after. So yes, because he had kids, but that's the royal family. I will come back to that on a later moment. I said 1984. Oh, I mean 1584. Yeah, 1584. Yeah, sometimes all these years are coming into my mind. So no, but he was killed over here. And the interesting thing is that if you're in this museum, you can still, and I'm going to show you. On this picture over here, you see there's a little sign and some holes on the side, and these holes are from the gunshots that were killing William the Silent. So And yes, Luan, William of Silent was William of Orange, the first one. Later on, we had a lot of other Williams of Orange. Nowadays, again, our king nowadays is also called William of Orange. So there has been a lot more. But he was killed over here in this in this building where he had his house. So, and later on, he was buried in the new church. We're now looking at the old church. He was buried in the new church. And since that time, all the Dutch royals have been buried over here. Almost all of them. Only William and Stuart, Luan, but you were, I think it was Luan was talking about it. Mary Stuart and William III, that was also the King of England for a while. They are buried in, I think it's in London, if I'm right. And Francesca is asking, where is the name Orange coming from? Yeah, Orange is coming from the area that they used to, where the family used to be the owners of, and that is the city or nearby the city of Orange in France. You have in France a city called Orange, and there is that name coming from. But they also had some rights for part of the Netherlands, but that orange, yeah, that is still nowadays for us a very important color. So it is the surname, but at the same time, it is also our national color. So our soccer team, for example, is playing in orange. Our athletes are playing in orange for the same reason, because it was William of Orange. We're looking now at the meantime at the church over here, called the Oude Kerk, the old church. I said this before in tours in Amsterdam and other cities. We are very original with the names of our churches. So also in the city of Delft, we have the old church that started originally in the 11th century, and we have the new church from the 14th century. So it's a lot newer, but still quite old. And what you can maybe see, I'm just gonna do another shot over here. Of course, there's a beautiful leaves in front of us, but the tower is not completely straight. It's about 2 meters. I don't know how you call that in English. It's about 2 meters hanging to our side, and most probably, we're also hearing some church bells. Most probably, this is because it is built next to a tiny canal where the ground is not very stable. So that can be the reason that this church with this tower of 75 meters high, and yes, Dorley is tilted for sure. And Aaron and Geoff are saying in Ireland, orange is associated with Protestants, and that's the interesting thing, that also the royal family in the Netherlands became Protestant. So, but for them, our color of orange is really only because of the surname. So it does not have a relationship with religion. And what I said already before, William the Silent himself, he was, look by the way how beautiful this is. It is a little, oh wow, do you hear that? This is timing. This is timing. Some of the church bells, exactly bad, 6.7 inches. Or 6 feet and 6 inches, yeah. No, it is now 5 blocks, it was 5 times. And the interesting thing is that we're hearing some of the bells of this tower, but only the smaller bells. The big ones over here inside are not in use anymore. There's one of 9,000 kilograms, 9 tons, 9,000 kilograms, and we're not using them anymore because the vibrations can be so strong that we are scared that the tower will tilt more. So we're not using them anymore, only for very special reasons. And the special reason is, for example, if one of our royals died. So the last one was, I think, in 2005, if I'm right. And on that moment, that's a moment to use that big bell again. but on other situation not. And the last time they were using it was in 2020. In 2020, and that was because all over Europe the church bells were chiming to support all the nurses that were taking care of everyone that had COVID. So it started in Italy, and Anne is asking why aren't there glasses in the tower of the church? Yeah, it is. It is quite an older tower, and you can even see the top part is from 1605. Look at this. Look, by the way, how beautiful it is. So that's only the top part. No, but it is. They didn't use windows in this in the tower because it made it less stable. So it is the Leaning Tower of Delft, true, and we are calling it sometimes a scheve Jan, or I think that's a wicked Jan. So, and you can see it from over here that it's a little tilted. Okay, let's go on because there's so much more to see. This is again the old church, but I want to show you some more, and I'm already talking for 30 minutes. It's unbelievable. Time flies when seeing beautiful cities, isn't it? But thanks. Go on with all your questions and things. I don't know if I know everything, but I think I can explain a lot. Thank you, Kate. I think Kate. Is it Kate? So, okay, let's go on. Thank you, Chloe. The only thing is always that I'm having so many stories, and then when preparing, I'm thinking I don't have enough stories. I need more, and then in the end, I don't have enough stories. Thank you, Corinne. And look, by the way, here to the side, there's this little house here with a public garden on the side. So it's from an artist, by the way, who's living over here. And we are in the Oude Kerkstraat, the Oude Kerkstraat, that's leading to the Voorstraat. And over here again, and I'm going to show you. And I said it already before, Amsterdam is not the only city with canals. Look over here. Thank you, Beth. That's appreciated. Okay, it is a little windy, so thank you, Lee. Also appreciated for the tip. Yeah, and it is a beautiful city. And what I said already before, I only lived here the first 5 years of my life. So, yeah, a little kid. So I cannot remember a lot from that time. But later on, my parents took me over here. And I also sometimes have people asking, can you guide in Delft? And I'm always a little hesitant because I know I can guide you for maybe 2 hours, but not a full day. I always have the feeling I have to know everything. Thank you, Edith and Luann. Look at this. And yes, there is already some Christmas illumination or winter illumination, because you have to know that in the Netherlands we're not only celebrating Christmas, but we're also celebrating before Christmas Sint Nicholas, and that is soon. He will come to the Netherlands soon. Thank you, Nilu. And that is the first celebration. So that is before, and what we normally have. And look, by the way, at the beautiful tree there on the side. There's so much beautiful things here to see. So let's go on. Sint Nicholas. Exactly. And yeah, that's what we're celebrating first. I'm thinking about doing a tour around it. So keep an eye on my channel if you want to know more about that. And one of the other things that I'm of course living in Amsterdam, walking a lot alongside the canals. And the canals over here, and also the houses over here, for me they are really cute compared to the houses in Amsterdam. So most of the houses are not so high, only 3 levels, while in Amsterdam it's most of the time 5 levels. So, and the main thing is that the price over here for the ground is a lot lower, or was a lot lower than in Amsterdam. So thank you, Finn, and thank you, Shala, I think it was. Sorry, I'm maybe sometimes missing it. And Evelyn, yeah, that is the one, but I can tell you a lot more about that. So, but let me first go. I see some beautiful Christmas lights. Thank you, Reisa. And Jan is asking, how far is Delft from Amsterdam? I came by train today, and I can really recommend if you're traveling in the Netherlands to for the bigger cities, 100,000 people, to take the train. It is 1 hour and 10 minutes from Amsterdam Central Station. So it's not that bad, I think. Okay, look at this over here. It's beautiful, isn't it? Also, look how calm it is on the streets. No cars, just people walking and cycling. And I mean, we are in the city center. Not completely central yet, but it is really a very cute city. Okay, I'm just going this way. And over here, we're looking at the tower of the new church. With one of the highest towers in the Netherlands, 109 meters. In feet, that will be around 330 feet in total. So it is one of the second after the city of Utrecht. And what I really love in this area, that everything is history. The whole city center is history, although most of the buildings are, except the churches, but most of the buildings are from the 17th century. Not from before, but there are some exceptions. For example, over here, we see there's a place over here, thank you Hillary, where you can get fish. And this is the old fish market. The fish market that was already over here in 1342. So almost 700 years ago, and still nowadays they're selling fish over here. Nothing changed in 700 years since they started the visbanken, the fish area. Thank you, Pam. And of course, everywhere there are canals, like over here. And Deborah is asking, what's the most popular fish to eat if you're coming to the Netherlands? Oh wait, let me just do another vertical shot for this tiny canal with the... Look at this. Now, the most famous fish to eat in the Netherlands is the herring. By far, herring. That's what we eat raw. Okay, just going back to normal view because there is more to see. I'm now coming nearby the heart of the city. And what is in the heart of the city from most European towns is always the market. And next to the market, in a lot of places, you have the city hall. So over here, we are looking at the city hall with these beautiful red shutters. And then at the end, what you see also in a lot of European cities, and even more in Dutch cities, you have the city hall, and at the other side of the market, you have the biggest church. So in this case, the new church is at one side, and the city hall is at the other side, also showing the separation of powers. The separation of powers between the church and the city government. So, yeah, and the shutters are beautiful, isn't it? And the interesting thing is that this building that we see over here, you can still see there's a beautiful yellow light inside. We're lucky to have this on the end of the day, so you can see how beautiful it becomes. But part of it is still in use as a city hall. So, and the city hall is from the 17th century, or the part around this, what we see over here, is from the 17th century. And in the middle, there is the tower, and the tower is there from the 13th century. And also this tower doesn't have any windows, but that's for another reason. And the reason is that the tower was used as a prison. And it is still, you can still, if you're coming here, you can visit the prison in the middle, the tower in the middle, and to visit the prison. So, and what you can also see, marketplace, that also means there is a market on some days in the week. So, and today, it is the day of the market. It is the end of the day already. So they are now removing the things. But what can I still see over here? Again, a place where we can have fish, herring again. Herring, eel, also all kind of other things. Sadly enough, I cannot let you smell it. But look at the front part of the city hall with the lights. It is beautiful. I have to try if I can go a little back, but it's hard because I am on the market square. So, but over here, 17th century city hall with on top, I can zoom in a little, we see Hollandia. So because this was where the government of Holland, the government of Hollandia, that was placed over here for a time. So there was a time that Delft was the capital of what was not the Netherlands yet, but the capital of Holland at that moment. So, and look, by the way, inside how beautiful the. Maybe I can take a little view inside so you can have the view of how it looks. Beautiful stained glass windows. So let me go. Let me see. I'm just gonna stand on the over here. Gives a little the feeling with the wooden ceiling, beautiful chandeliers. And that I think that Annemiek was right that you were talking about the city of Gouda, not so far away from here. Another beautiful city, about the same size, a little smaller than Delft. And that was the city where I was growing up. So I had a history of growing up in beautiful 17th century or medieval towns, 17th century towns. So it's also the one over here. Okay, I'm just going. And a lot of cheese. Yeah, that was Gouda. That's Gouda. No, that can also be Alkmaar, by the way. That also has a beautiful square. And just to give you an idea, the Delft blue is everywhere. Look at this. Look how beautiful this cow is over here. It's called the Bonte Ox. So, and it's also because the street over here is the Bonte Ossteeg. So, a little cow street here on the side. And I'm going on because there's more to see. I'm just going a little around the market towards this, thank you Catherine and Anne, towards the beautiful tower over here. But of course, before getting there, there is also a lot of Delft blue over here, and some on the street, but of course you can also buy it everywhere. So, for example, in the shop over here, there's a lot of Delftware with the famous blue color. No, it's okay, thank you, dankjewel. Sorry? Plafond? Ceiling. Beautiful ceiling. Monument. Okay. Okay. Dankjewel. Okay. She said, go inside, go inside. There's nobody inside, so I can go in the shop where they have this beautiful Delft's blue. I see everything is minus 50%, so I should maybe buy something. Now, the city of Delft has become famous as a city from around 1600. To be precise, 1602. In 1602, they started making the Delft blue over here. And why they did that is because a lot of people in the Netherlands were seeing the porcelain that the Dutch traders, and by the way, look at the ceiling. It's a little hard to see, but a 350 years old ceiling, that's what you were saying. And it is really a beautiful shop. And I will show you the name of the shop when I'm going out. Now, with around 1600, we started doing this because the Dutch traders, we were bringing a lot of porcelain from China, and the quality of that was very high. But because it was coming all the way from China, it was also extremely expensive. And these Dutch traders, they really wanted to have something over here. So some Dutch businessmen, they were so smart to say, like, let's try if we can do this ourselves. And they started not with the Chinese clay, but with the Dutch clay to make their own porcelain. technically is not completely porcelain, but it looks like it. It was only a lot cheaper than the one that came from China. So, and yes, Joe, everything is hand painted. There used to be a time when the city of Delft had more than 30 places where they were making the Delft blue, but nowadays there's only one left. And if you wanna, if you wanna know if you have the real ones, then you always have to check for this sign. No. Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's good.
Because there are about 200 different factories.
Yeah.
This is the most famous and the oldest one.
And the only one that's still there, isn't it?
No.
Yeah,
last summer the Delftse Pauw went broke. But we have another company. That's the company Heinen.
Okay. But I was talking about the Delft.
Yeah, so. I'm talking about Delft as well. This is a factory. It's like cars. You got a car.
Yeah. Wait. I'm streaming live. So.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
To show you.
Hi.
So yeah, this lady over here, of course, she knows a lot more than I do because I'm born here, but I'm not working in this shop.
No.
So.
But when we work here, we have a blue heart. That's why we love a lot of the Delftware.
Yeah.
But there were about 200 different companies. In the old days, and then falling down pieces by one.
Yeah.
So last year the Delftse Pauw went bankrupt.
Yeah.
A company that's old as the Royal Delft. He's the most famous, the Royal Delft. But you got Vermeer de Wit with 2 brushes as a logo.
Yeah.
You got Heinen.
Okay, wait. I'm just gonna show you because some people were asking that. So sorry, I'm just going around. It's a little fish. Okay.
So each company is like you got a car, you got Mercedes with a logo, and BMW.
Okay.
It's the same way with hand-painted Delftware.
With hand-painted Delftware, because it's all hand-painted. That's of course one of the most important things.
The painters on the left.
Yeah.
And the year it has been painted on the right, and it corresponds with letters. Each company has letters.
Has letters too.
And they start with the A, and the A is the year it has been opened, the factory.
Okay.
So A to Z, A, B.
And so on.
So you get a lot of companies, but there are a lot of, now, they're only the 2 big ones is Heine and Royal Delft.
The 2 ones left from all that was there before. Yeah. So, but there is still something, and there are, of course, shops where you can all get this. Look at, for example, what we see over here. Hey, dankjewel voor dat ik binnen mocht komen. I'm just thanking her for coming inside. It's really a beautiful shop, and I will show the name at the outside, so you never know.
Yeah,
a lot of people from the US.
Actually, we're Heinen. This is our outlet hand-painted store.
Oh, okay.
We got a beautiful store
at the other side. Yeah, there are more beautiful stores, I know.
Heinen Delft Blauw.
Heinen Delft Blauw. Thank you. Dankjewel. Bye. And yeah, there are a lot of tulip vases too. That's true. And look, this is how it looks from the outside. Yeah, I didn't expect that I was allowed to come inside. Most of the times I don't like it so much, but I think it was because there was nobody, and she thought, like, why not? Why not? And I was thinking about doing a specific tour about Delft Blue another time. So because now it is more about the city itself, and we're walking towards the new church, and what you can see, and it is now getting dark, but you can see that there are different colors in the tower, and these different colors are corresponding with different times. So there has been different times where they were making the tower higher. Thank you, Anne. We're making the tower higher, and the last part, the black part, is from the 17th century. From, by the way, a famous architect that was also the architect for the Central Station in Amsterdam. So, sorry, it's 19th century. So the 19th century is the top part, the 17th century is the middle part, and the under part is the 16th century. So there are different parts of the building, and it's getting black because of it's not so. Because so I'm now not coming out of my words anymore. No, it's getting black because of pollution. pollution in the air. And we were talking about Vermeer, we were talking about Delft's blue. Look at this. It's a wonderful piece on the side. By the way, this is another shop from, it is what they were saying, that there were not so many factories nowadays anymore, but it is another shop that closed already. Quite beautiful. So, okay, I'm just going to the other side of the marketplace. We're looking over here at Hugo de Groot, or Hugo Grotius, a quite famous philosopher in the Netherlands. But that's for another time. And then over here we have the entrance into the Nieuwe Kerk, the entrance into the new church. And behind there is the place where all our royals are buried. And the first one, I was saying it already, was William of Orange, or William the Silent. And he was buried there, of course, after he died in 1584. And what happened in the 17th century? In the 17th century, they were making a mausoleum for him. And we cannot go inside right now. They're also not allowing you to do that. But I have a picture of his... Oh, I thought I had a picture of his mausoleum, but I think it didn't work out. Okay, that's for another time. That's for another time. I have more stories, don't worry. I want to show you something else, sadly enough. Oh yeah, the light is on, the light is on. So, you maybe know the name of this tour. How I gave it, the name of this tour. It is a tour where I'm taking you to the blue heart of Delft. And you now heard from this lady that she was saying, like, I have a blue heart because of the Delft's blue color. So, yeah, blue is literally the color of the city. And what they did is, quite recently, in front of a lot newer church, by the way, from the 19th century, what they placed about 15 years ago, this big blue heart here in the city center. Quite beautiful, isn't it? There is a little light now. This is the blue heart from 1998, placed over here from glass. It looks a little like it uses the tiles, but it is nice, isn't it? And it's also quite beautiful to see it, the blue heart together with the small canal that you can see there at the sides. That is a beautiful heart, yeah. So, because I'm born here, that also means that I have a blue heart. So I can say I have a blue heart, I don't have blue blood. I don't know if that's the same in English, by the way. But if you're royal and you have blue blood. So, yeah, sorry, it is quite windy. I cannot do a lot about that anymore. Just showing you this little side street. So, and I also see that I'm already doing a tour for 54 minutes. It's unbelievable. Time flies. Time flies. And let me just go here a little to this small side. And Luann is saying, what a charming town. Yes, it is. It is really a charming town. A cute little town. I thought it would be less windy over here, but it's maybe even more. But yeah, it has a beautiful city center with several churches. With several churches, but not only that, there's the beautiful Prinsenhof where I started, the modern central station. We've now only seen the big market, but there are also smaller markets all over the city, and these beautiful squares like the ones over here. Thank you, Beth. And I also really like it when they start with the illumination of the trees, as you can see over here. Thank you, Angel. Wait, I have to go to the other side. Oh, this is magic, isn't it? I'm really looking forward to take you to more light festivals, but not only that, also to Christmas markets everywhere because Christmas markets are all over Europe, and I'm gonna take you to several ones. Thank you, Sarai, for sharing. And over here we have the beer factory. Maybe I should stay there a little at the end of this tour. Thank you, Polly, because after all the talking for such a long time for a whole tour, then I'm always getting a little thirsty. And then over here is one of the other squares that I know a little more from the time that I was studying. I was studying in the city of Leiden, not so far away. And then sometimes with groups of students, we were coming to the city of Delft to sit over here outside having beers. And you can see it is winter time, but people are still sitting outside. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Jean, also. And yes, I was also walking here to have some more beautiful shots with the church on the side at the back, and then with all these lights and trees. Most cities now turning them off around 11, so it used to be the whole night, but because of the prices for electricity and gas, they're doing it less. But yeah, it is dreamy. I'm just gonna do another different shot. So, okay, look at this. Look how beautiful it is. It's time for Christmas markets, isn't it? I'm gonna take you there to several ones. So, and if you love lights, thank you, Marta. No, Beth is saying something interesting. I should do another tour in Delft, and let me show you my face again. I think you're right. I'm always thinking when I'm going to a city like this that I don't have enough information. But in the end, I had too many locations, so I only did 70% of what I planned to do. So I didn't even show you the Vermeer Center, also some of the where the paintings where he made that. So that will be for another time. I think it's a good reason to come back to show you the other part, or maybe even do two tours behind each other. But that will be another time. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Jackie. So thank you also for all the tips and all the nice words already. It was nice to show you around in this wonderful little town where I was born originally. So thank you, Deborah. And thank you, Helen. If you love lights and if you love animals, and thank you, Joe. If you love lights and animals, then I can really recommend you to join me tomorrow, because tomorrow in the evening I will go to the zoo of Ouwehans. While we hear the church bells again, I'm going to the zoo of Ouwehans. Thank you, Patty. And there is a light festival over there, a light festival themed about under the sea. So, and I'm going there, and it will be magical. I was there last year, and I'm going again. Thank you, Malcolm. So I'm really looking forward to show that. And before that tour, I will also do a tour through the zoo. So that's a sort of a pre-tour. This is a specific one, and then I'm going to show you the zoo, and then later on we will see the same zoo, but then with a light festival and like big installations of light of sea animals mainly. So hopefully enjoyed it. I will come back for sure, I'm promising, because I love it also myself more than I expected. So it's good to be back. And there is only about Delft Blue I can do a whole tour, I think. But then I want to be prepared more, knowing that I have a deal, or like at least that someone knows that I'm coming in a shop like that. So I'm going to start walking back. You can still join me for 5 more minutes. Thank you, Michelle, and also Rhonda. Michelle, I forgot you before, but thank you also for the tip. But I'm gonna walk back to the station, going back to Amsterdam. It was just a little tour today. But I will come back, and if you're not following me yet, feel free. I'm doing a lot more tours in the Netherlands, in Belgium. But not only that, also some in Germany soon. And I will also travel to the other side of the world. I'm going to Singapore, the Philippines, and Bali. So there will be some tours in these locations soon too. So some of them are already on my channel, but there will be added more in the coming weeks. So thank you. I'm going home. I will see you again another time, and bye bye. Thank you.